Here we are. It is the middle of the day right now. Probably not the best day to be working out because it is unseasonably warm and humid in Western Washington right now. So that is why I look like I just jumped out of a swimming pool. Well, welcome back, guys. But with the last couple of Zen videos that I put out, I noticed that some people felt that it was a little bit like down and dark in tone. And I thought it'd be good today to talk about the nature of failure and exactly what it means, because I think that's one of the things that a lot of people felt that I might have been harping on, that I've been failing a lot lately at things that I've been trying to pursue, and that's been getting me down, and I wanted to make sure that you guys know that is absolutely not the case at all. I feel like today's society really sees failure as, failing to accomplish a task as like a personal slight on yourself, when that is absolutely not the case. Famously, Thomas Edison said that he didn't fail to create a light bulb, but he found 1,000 ways that it didn't work, or 10,000 ways that it didn't work, or whatever that exact quote happens to be. So every time that I fail, I take that on as an opportunity to see how I can improve myself, where I can reflect and see how I can become a better, stronger, more well-rounded, more resilient individual. So I hope folks don't think that I'm just a downer and that I'm getting all mopey and no, that is absolutely not the case. Don't worry, guys, I'm still rocking, I'm still kicking ass, I'm becoming a better person every day. All right, I'm gonna take a shower, put on a shirt, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Take it easy. Well, I'm back on the road again. I'm doing this in my car because there's a little bit of precipitation. And if you're wondering why it looks like I've got a couple days stubble growth, it's because I decided to push back the trip a couple of days. This trip is also going to be significantly shorter than the last one. The last one was 800 miles round trip. This one is going to be about 80 miles one way. So it's going to be shorter than some people's daily commute. So getting back to the topic that I was talking about with failure, and why exactly it is that I embrace trying to push myself to the limit, trying to push myself to failure. It's not really that I enjoy failing things, it's more that the process that gets me to a point where I'm at the point where I've almost failed something is really much better than just living in my comfort zone for my entire life. And the human body is this amazingly adaptive machine where anytime you put yourself under stress or anytime you push yourself really hard to do something, the human body will adapt to better be able to manage that stress. And so if you want to make yourself more resilient to heat or cold, for example, then if you spend a lot of time in cold showers or in a hot sauna, then your body gets better at creating these things called heat shock proteins to deal with those kinds of adverse conditions. You have to push yourself really far, which means pushing yourself right to the point where you've almost failed or where you think you might fail. Then that's really the reason why I don't shy away from doing these things, where a lot of times I will try to push myself that far and will eventually fail. It's kind of like pushing yourself to find your limits, not for the purpose of finding your limit per se, but for the purpose of pushing your body to become better, to extend what your personal limit actually is. And it's this very strange phenomenon in modern society where a lot of people do have to go out of their way to like make their own obstacles. For example, I do the eating challenge, the eating contest, I run marathons. None of this is really necessary. They're obstacles that I put in my own way so that I can make myself stronger and a better, more well-rounded human. And of course, by pursuing these obstacles, these self-made obstacles even, a lot of times it results in failure. If I fail to run a marathon, a week later, nobody's even gonna care. So, all right, guys, I got a little bit more driving to go, so I'm gonna get that done. Peace out. Catch you guys later. Beautiful day we have here today. Not the greatest weather in Washington today, but it is kind of nice to be out of the super hot weather and the super high humidity. So that's always nice. Alright, so what do we have so far? I do not shy away from failure, but I also do not embrace failure. I do not shy away from stress, but I do not strictly embrace highly stressful things. But I do embrace those things that will make me stronger and better. Now, I did mention that the human body is amazingly adaptive. The other thing that the human body is really great at doing is that it is amazingly efficient. Now, this means that if you do not engage in the things that will make your body stronger, those things will eventually wither away. And once again, this is not just the physical side. Of course, everybody knows that if you stop exercising, you stop lifting weights, your muscles wither up and go away. That's just the way it is. So, there's the old adage that if you don't use it, you will lose it. I think that is entirely true. This doesn't mean that I never engage in leisure, I never take a day off, things like that. Because the honest truth is that when you do take time off, those are the times when your body is able to rebuild and become stronger and better. When you do work out, when you do try to engage in stressful things, that's when your body is kind of like getting broken down and becoming even weaker. It does send that signal that your body does need to get stronger, but your body also needs those times between the highly stressful events to rebuild and become stronger. I also do not overindulge in leisure and sloth, things like that. But again, it's something that I make sure that I put in my life to make sure that I do get the most out of things like my exercises, my ridiculous workout habit, things like that. All right, guys. It's raining. I'm going to get back in my car before my camera gets too wet. Catch you guys later. So it is the beginning of day 2 of my 2-day trip up to Bellingham, Washington. Alright, so for the last day I've been talking about the nature of failure, and I do think it is a shame when people do have this, I don't know, it's almost like this incredible hyper fear of even approaching something where they might fail, which is a real shame because it seems like the only way to absolutely avoid any danger of failing is to just never ever push yourself and never try anything at all that's ever extraordinary, and you end up living this life that's really mundane and just completely boring. And it seems like the only way to ever do anything interesting or anything that's really even remotely worthwhile is to go out on a limb and to do something that might tempt failure. So folks that have been watching the channel for a while probably know that I'm really into rock climbing, and I was really excited to see that sport climbing was going to be in the Olympics this year. So if you haven't gotten a chance to do so yet, definitely check out the sport climbing that was at the Olympics. You see a lot of really awesome athletes doing incredible things. Competition sport climbing is just super cool if you haven't checked it out already. But one thing that I do really like about it is that when you watch rock climbers, you see that rock climbing is the kind of thing where failure is absolutely inevitable. Like, People have asked me if I ever worry about falling on off of rocks when I'm rock climbing, and the truth is, I fall all the time. Like, it is impossible to be a rock climber and avoid failure. Like, you fall off rocks all the time. Oh my goodness. And nothing has ever taught me humility and confidence like rock climbing. And nothing has ever taught me that. And nothing has ever taught me how to get up after falling like rock climbing. Now, obviously, I'm not at the level of the professionals and the really elite level pro climbers that were in the Olympics, but the stuff that I do is at a little bit of a lower level, but some of those concepts still come to mind where it's like, instead of falling and getting discouraged, no, those rock climbers get right back up. They look at the problem, see what went wrong, and try to fix it, try to change their approach, try to improve themselves. And the entire overarching point of this video was that basically I wanted to let you guys know that I don't fear failure. Like, I don't mind doing things that sometimes don't work out. Like, it's fine. Sometimes I look like I'm getting frustrated or I get kind of miffed in the moment, but it's just like a little bit of an emotion. Like, it doesn't matter in the long run. After a day or two, I'm going to be just fine. I'm going to come back and I'm going to be even better than before. So likewise, I hope that you guys find some inspiration in some of these words, or maybe you're just hanging out waiting for me to eat a giant meal. That's cool too. And until next time, peace out. I'll catch you guys later.